Alright, what's up guys? I'm back. I'm trying to give you guys a quick update video and a pattern actually for the CEO I have not posted yet. So you guys are getting a little bit of a sneak peek of the entire head. You guys have seen some of the smaller shots of it. I think I showed you guys the top string and the channel. But you're going to see the whole head this time. It's a quick update. I actually just moved back into school. I'm in my room right now. It's a little bit different. I'm trying to get things set up. I'm trying to get orders out, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm a bit behind. I was really pressed for time, and it took me a while to get all my stuff moved in and stuff like that and get settled. That being said, let's start off with the CEO. So this is a white CEO, very, very nice white CEO. And I put a mid-low pocket on it with a fabulous channel. If you guys know mainly mesh, you know the Goldilocks theory, and this just exemplifies exactly what he was talking about, how the mesh hugs the ball on both sides, which creates more friction and thus creates more hold in your pocket. This is done with String King, so when I give you guys this pattern, remember that this is 17.5mm mesh, which will be different if you use a 20mm or 15mm mesh. The pocket will turn out differently. It may not be as defined, it may be baggier. I'm sorry, can't do anything about that, guys. This is what I have to string, this is what I love. So for that pattern, again, this is a mid-low pocket. It shifts pretty low, actually. I like it because it'll shift low for one-handed cradling, nice and low. And then when you are cradling the ball, it sits about in a mid pocket. And then of course when you full on rip and shoot, you have a nice channel that'll give you a great release coming down the whole head. So here's this pattern. Again, this is String King, 17.5mm. Triangle top string. I actually did a double triangle. I mean a double like a bear claw, I think it's what it's called. But I did a triangle top string. Very simple. Okay, so let's start up here. We have a tie on 2, so it's tie 2, skip, SI, skip, SI, skip, SI. Then you're doing a 1 SSI. So if you guys don't know what that is, you guys can see this right here. So on this right here, there's a skip in between. There's actually two skips in between right here. You guys can see that. So there's a tie here and there's a tie here. Sorry, I'm doing that without looking. There are 2 skips. So you have your SI, which you just did. Now you're going to go underneath the whole mesh from the bottom like you would for a regular 1, 2, or 3, whatever you're using for your pocket. So you're going to go underneath and you're going to do that 1. So you're going to do that with your 1. This is terrible. I'm so bad at this. I'm sorry, guys. You guys see how it kind of goes underneath? This is a terrible angle. I'm sorry. So it goes underneath. Yeah, you can see right there. It goes underneath through the bottom of the mesh hole. Then you're going to do your SSI. So if you guys know what an SSI is, it's special SI. Sorry, excuse me, a special SI. And then you're going to just do a SI, SI, and then tie. I tied on the last hole. Something to keep in mind, I'm going to read this pattern again in a second, but something to keep in mind is that when you tie down here, it really does make a difference where you put this tie. If you put the tie further up the head, you are not able to pull this mesh down any further, because you see how this kind of locks it. So I can't pull that down any further because that locks it. If I put this tie up here on this hole, the first open one, then I wouldn't be able to pull it down to this point, which is what helps create this kind of pocket. You see how it would be a lot baggier and there'd be a lot more mesh on this back side. So that's something to keep in mind, is that I did tie on the last hole. So the last hole on the bottom is where I made that tie, where I just went through the top of the mesh hole and then through the hole to tie it off. So again, pattern for you guys, it is a tie 2, skip, SI, skip, SI, skip, SI, and then you're going to do, remember there's 2 skips in this. You're skipping 2 holes. You're doing the 1 where you're going underneath through the mesh hole, and then a special SI that ends in a second hole. So you can go underneath and go 1, and then you're going to skip those 2 holes, and then you're going to do your special SI. Then you're doing SI, SI. There are no skips in there, just SI, SI. Then you're going to skip all the way down to the last hole, and then you're going to do your tie off. I use a soft bottom string for this, guys. Remember, String King does have problems with ripping sometimes when you use the regular nylon shooters. Regular nylon bottom strings. That's why I use a shooter bottom string. I actually like it a little bit more. I like to feel it's a little more padded, a little bouncier. I kind of like that when I'm catching the ball. I went with a single nylon and a single straight up top because of how tight this channel is. If I was to put these shooters any lower, it actually would the shooters would catch because of how tight the channel is coming down there. So you want the ball to be able to roll off the shooters and catch in the channel for your hold instead of catching other shooters for your hold, because that'll create more snag with this kind of pocket. So again, this is a mid-low pocket, good channel. This is another face shot for you guys. You guys can see a channel forming right inside there. You can see it forming on each side, in the side there. Let's see, what else am I missing? Oh yeah, this is the Hawk Pocket. Saying that kind of weird. It sounds like a hot pocket, but this is the Hawk Pocket. This is the variation I did. It was actually first done by Coach Matt on the lacrosse forums, and then it was made famous on Instagram by, of course, you know, Chris Lacrosse Man. This is the Hawk Pocket. This is the closest thing I'm going to be doing to a Cobra. As you guys can see, there is quite a bit of string in here, and it took me a long time to do this, and I am never going to do one of these again. I'm going to be honest. I love the pocket. I actually may try it again, but to be honest, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of string, and when you can string regular traditionals, instead of having to go through all this work, you can string a regular traditional. I think it's a cool pocket. I think it's a great idea. Is it for me? Probably not. I'm a simpler kind of guy. As you guys can see, there are so many twists in there. They're twisted all around on both sides. And guys, these twists are painful after a while. You start going crazy. I was like hallucinating while I was finishing this head. I was finishing, and I was like, hey, look, there's a fairy. And I was like, no, it's not a fairy, but this is the Hawk Pocket I did. This is in the Surgeon 10. You guys can actually, no, I'm not gonna sell this to you guys. I'm sorry. This is actually going to a friend. Shh. He doesn't know I'm giving this to him. It's gonna be a surprise present for him. I hope he likes it. So that is the Hawk Pocket. I showed you the Hawk Pocket. I'm saying it really weird. I showed you the CEO. What else do I have for you guys? Oh yes. If you guys have any orders that you put in, again, I'm gonna repeat this. I am very sorry, but I am behind. Let me grab it right here. I have a whole box full of stuff. This is a Carolina optic, a universal optic that is getting, I believe, a 6-shooter. He has twisted outers. And this is going to, Jack Hammond. That's who it was, Jack Hammond. So Jack, you see this video, man, I'm going to work on your head. I'll get it out to you as soon as I can. I'm really sorry. I am quite behind on all of my work stuff. I still have this NOS. I don't know how I still have it, but I still have this white NOS, guys, with the RPV 2.0. It is nice and broken in. It has incredible hold and a very nice release. And I want someone to have this so that they can enjoy it as much as I did. I do not need it anymore. Again, this is 75 shipped. Head is in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of the warping, but I mean, it's a NOS. It happens. Sorry. Can't do much about it. Let's see. I also have these Brian King 4s still. You remember, these are 12-inch. These are brand new. They have the tags still on them. And last but not least, I have this black NOS, which is actually unstrung currently. I will probably string it for somebody. Again, this will need a little bit of work. Has a little bit of pinching, a little bit of warping, but it's unstrung. It is almost... Actually, it's in really good condition, besides the little sidewall things. Something else I noticed, I want to show you guys this. This is a String King ball stop that I got, and I was actually really surprised, but these ball stops are super high quality. Like, it's not just like it's flat. It's like those new, it's like the Surgeon Nike ones where it's kind of like embossed, so it raises up. The black part is raised up, so when you rub your finger across it, it feels really cool. That is sick. Stringer Shack, you did a great job with these. I want more. These are sweet. I put them on all my heads. I'm a Stringer Shack kind of guy. Jimalax does their thing. I think they do good work, but I can't get away from Stringer Shack. Again, here's the last head I'm going to showcase for you guys. This is the Surgeon 10 500 that I did with... Oh, man, this light's coming through here. I'm sorry. Well, okay, so this is the Surgeon 10 500. Let's get this finished up. This has the Chemo 6-shooter variant. This thing is dirty. This thing is so sick. Guys, if you are curious about how you want your pocket shape in a trad, this is something I aim for. This lighting is so terrible right now, and I am so sorry. But if you guys can see this, you guys see how the entire pocket, literally the entire thing, is a bag. I love this pocket shape. It looks like a giant boat, and if someone was stringing mesh like this, I would look at them and be like, you're crazy. But, actually, no, I like bags. I can't lie. A nice big bag is pretty awesome. I'm a box guy. But when you're stringing a traditional, guys, you have to get the right pocket shape. I had a couple questions where people were like, why is my stick lipping? Why is it whipping? Why is it snagging? Like, why is it doing all this? And it's because they were making super defined pockets. They were trying to make their pocket with a traditional look like this, like how it does with mesh, and that does not work. You're going to have problems with it breaking in, you're going to have problems with it performing, it's going to be inconsistent. This is the way to go, guys. You want a giant bag that functions from really low to pretty high. I mean, it doesn't have to be all the way up here. Mine is kind of exaggerated, it's broken in. But you do want a nice big bag because you want this ramp effect. You see how I'm talking? I was talking to you guys about this, but I'm running my fingers along it right now. There's a ramp. It kind of creates a ramp. There is no channel. It is very undefined. I mean, I guess there's a little channel, but it's pretty undefined. And you want this ramp. You want this ball to be able to roll out. You want it to be able to roll out of your stick. I can't do this because my ceiling is being hit, but you guys get the point. You want it to roll out. You don't want it to snag anything. You want it to be smooth. That is where you get that good release. Something else. Your hold does not come from your channel. There is no way you are going to get hold with a channel on a trad. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you string a channel into a trad, a defined channel like you would with mesh, it'll become inconsistent. It'll not work. I promise you that. I'm not trying to be mean. Oh, I smacked it. I'm not trying to be mean to anybody who does do that. I think that there are advantages, and there are actually very good stringers who do string their outers, their outer leathers, so these outer ones that will create that channel, these outer ones that'll start creating that channel, they do string them lower, and they do get more of a channel. But remember, these guys are very good stringers. They know their tensions. They know how to do that. When you're first starting, you do not want a channel. You want an undefined pocket. Like that. Just like that. You want it pretty undefined. I'm not saying this is like the best pocket in the world, but I think you guys get the point. It's very undefined. It's like a boat. It's kind of like what I like a boat hull. You guys get that? Something else. Your hold. So you're thinking, why? Like, where does all my hold go? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't have a channel. Like, how does the ball stay in? You guys see how I was talking about how it shifts. It will sit all the way down here on the bottom of my head, and it'll sit all the way up here on the top of my head, which is gorgeous, and I love it. You guys see that my hold comes from how my leathers shift. My hold does not come from the ball getting friction like the Goldilocks channel, that CEO I just showed you. My hold comes from the fact that my leathers can shift up and bag out high. They can also shift low and bag out low. So as the ball rolls up, as it gets higher, it'll get stopped by your shooters. Your hold comes from your shooters and your pocket working with them. So when you place your shooters, you're going to look at your head. You're going to say, I placed a mid pocket. I placed a more or less baggy mid pocket. The ball sits right here most of the time. When it rolls up, it'll get to a certain point where if you roll it up any higher, the pocket will not look right. That point right before it is where you want to put your shooters. That's what I kind of judge it as, at least. Here, I'll show you. This is not a very good example. I'll show you this in the hawk pocket I just strung. So if I were to place shooters, this is a low pocket. This is a low bag. You see how when I roll this up, it looks good until about there. Now, something to remember, this will break in. The pocket will shift higher. So if I were to put shooters in, you see how it looks kind of weird right there? If I were to put shooters in, I bet it would break into about up there. I would put my shooters here, here, and maybe one on top. So I'd put 1, 2, and then maybe a nylon on top. Kind of exactly what I did with this one. So you have 1, 2 straights, and then a nylon. I use the nylon for a snappy release. I use the 2 straights. I keep them pretty loose. Again, the one on the bottom is looser than the one on top. And this is what's going to give me my hold. So this is what you're looking for when you're looking for hold in the traditional. You are not going to get this hold from your channel. You're not going to get this hold from ball friction. You are getting this hold because of how your pocket shifts up and down. Now, something else to remember is that if it shifts too much, this is where it gets confusing. If it shifts too much, if it is too baggy in one area, it'll snag. So that is why we practice traditional. That is why we string every day. That is why we restring and restring and restring and restring and restring our heads, because then we get practice. Because then when we look at their stick and we can say, huh, that doesn't look right. What do I need to do to fix it? And then you go back and you change it. And guys, improvement is everything. I know that I am not the best traditional stringer. I know that, and I am fine with that. I think that's a good thing, actually. Because from this point on, I can look at my heads and I can go to someone who I think is better. I can say, can you help me? Do you have any tips for me? Is there anything I can fix in this pocket? They'll give you some tips. And then next time you string, you think, oh yeah, I gotta work on that. And that's what you're gonna work on next time. So each time you string, you learn new skills. That is your goal. Each time you pick up a stick or a head, and you put a pocket in it, mesh or traditional, you say, I want to do better. How do I do better? And then you work on that until finally, after a year, after 6 months, after 8 months, after a year, you get a pocket that actually is functional. You get a pocket that actually looks good. And you get a pocket that you really enjoy. And that is when you know that you can start having good traditionals, is when your pocket is functional, it is consistent, and it is something that you enjoy. I'm not saying that you can string a bad pocket and have it be functional and you can't enjoy it. I'm saying that you will enjoy it more if you know what you're doing when you're stringing, because I promise you that you string an inconsistent pocket, you will hate it. You will not like traditionals. And that is a big pet peeve of mine. Going on kind of a tangent, guys. It's been almost 16 minutes now. Sorry, this is kind of a long video, but I want to tell you guys something. One of my biggest pet peeves are people who string traditionals for other people and do not know what they're doing. I do not think they should stop stringing. I want them to keep stringing. But there's a fine line that you have to tiptoe. I mean, if you're stringing for somebody else, that is their stick. That is what they're going to play with. That is what they're going to use in their game, in their practice. That's what their coach is going to see. That's what their teammates are going to see. That's what their tryouts are going to. Those are the people they're going to see. If they have a pocket that they don't trust, a traditional that they don't like, they're never going to want to use traditional again, because that's what they think traditional is. They do not know better. They do not know that this is a bad pocket. They do not know that this doesn't look good. They're making the same mistakes that we are as stringers, that we think, oh, this is good, has a channel, it has a defined pocket, when really that is not what you want. And I just feel bad for all those kids who come into me and are like, what do I do? Like, I can't even play with this pocket. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but like, I have to just restring the whole thing. Like, you didn't get a well-strung pocket, and I'm really sorry that this is like your impression of traditionals, because that is not what traditional stringing is. It is beautiful. It is an art. It is something that we practice every day, and we do a hard work because it's something that we love to do, guys. We share that love of the game. I don't want to rag on people. I'm not going to call people out for this, but if you are going to sell traditional stringing to other people, please make sure that you are doing your best work and it is a consistent pocket that you can recreate over and over and over again. If someone asks for low whip, high hold, medium whip, whatever they ask for, you have to be able to provide that to them at the best quality. That is why they are paying you. Alright? That is something that you have to work on, and I have to work on too, because I am still not the best stringer out there. By far, not even close. I have to keep working to make sure that my customers, like Jack Hammond here, gets a 6-string traditional that will perform and work for him. And I think that that is the biggest key as a I can't really say professional stringer, but as a stringer for other people, you have to please them. They are always right. The customer is always right. And it's been 18 minutes, and I'm tired. That was a lot of talking, but you guys get what I'm talking about. I hope you enjoyed. This is a very long video for you guys. Welcome to my new videotaping area. I'll try to get them out for you guys. I have 3 other roommates, so they might be kind of loud and noisy. But we'll make it work. So, CEO, Hawk Pocket, Surgeon Ted 500, Trad Talk, you got it all right here. Alright, I'm signing out, boys. Have a nice day. I hope you guys have a great afternoon, a great weekend, a great week, a great month, and a great year. I hope you guys have fun at school. You're all going back soon. I'm back at school right now. Have a good one, guys. Hey, show love, spread love.